What's going on, everybody, man? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to what I'm going to hopefully call a short video. So I remember telling you guys that we was going to talk about my costs and what I spent to do the the STI transmission swap. So I got my little list of parts and things that I bought. So I'm gonna do these in whatever order it is, and then on maybe on the right or left side of your screen, it'll kind of do the little parts breakdown and all of that stuff. So let's go ahead and let's get into this. So first thing we're gonna start out with is the fact that is the actual swap itself. So remember, I went to that event and ran into somebody who was selling an STI swap. So I bought the entire swap as it was, with everything that came with it: the transmission, the rear diff, the axles, front and rear, the drive shaft. It even came with the clutch, the flywheel, all the bolts. Came with all of the components and the harness and all of that stuff. And it also came with the front and rear hubs or knuckles all the way around. So if I ever wanted to switch over to do like STI brakes and all that stuff, big brakes, I could do that too. But that whole kit cost, that whole swap as it was $3,500. So that's the $3,500 that I spent for that. So then after I got the transmission swap, that's what then at that point I just started ordering everything that I thought I needed. So the next thing on the list that I had got was the DCCD center console controller, the knob with the button and all that stuff. I bought that. It's not hooked up in the car yet because I still don't have the iWire. They call it the iDCCD controller. So I'm still waiting on it to come out. Once it does, I'll be able to add that in the car, and then we can put that little that DCCD controller in there, switch that goes in the center console by the cup holder. But that I got that on eBay, and that was like $100.66. Next thing I got was the pitch stop brace. So the pitch stop brace I got because I was planning on upgrading that anyway on the car, but once I got that, I'm adding that too because that was part of it, and I did install it on there. Plus it came with the clutch line, the steel braided clutch line, so it came with that. So that pitch stop brace, and that was from Torque Solutions. That thing was that was $228.87 for that. And goodness, next thing on the list was the iWire STI swap adapter harness. So that's where you connect the two cables that come off your transmission to allow your WRX to talk to your transmission. So when you go into reverse, camera comes on, light comes on, and all of that stuff. So that was $90.48 for that thing. But next thing on the list is the OEM bits, which is the the shifter bracket, bolts, the insulator, the little push pins that hold the little insulator in, all of that sort of stuff. I bought just little stuff like that, and the actual the flywheel inspection cover. I got that for the STI. Altogether, that was like $121.61 for that. All right, y'all. So seemed like it kind of calmed down a little bit. You can probably still hear it in the background. Hopefully not. Hopefully this microphone is doing its job, blocking out as much of that sound as you can. But I think where I left off at, I was talking about the cart. I had got the cart. I'm about to mess this up. Cart Boy short shifter kit, and that kit was $219.96 for that thing. And I got that because I heard so much about it, thought it'd be good for it, but I paid that for it. Now majority of the parts I got it from Import Image Racing, and the other stuff I got OEM, from Subaru dealership. The next thing I got was the ACT Mod Twin clutch. Yes, I know I kind of went a little extreme there, but I heard so much about it. I didn't want to be limited to a certain amount of horsepower and torque. Plus, they said it felt a whole lot like stock anyway, and I've never driven on a twin disc clutch before, so I figured that was a good time to try it out and get something a little beefier. So that's why I kind of went with that. That thing, which I caught, and it was on sale. if you can believe it, it was on sale for $1,787.96. That's what I spent for that clutch. Yeah, I know it's pretty pricey, but you know, hey, gotta spoil yourself sometime. You know what I'm saying? All right, moving on the list here, because I told you I wasn't gonna I'm trying not to take up too much of y'all's time. I got the pairing clutch delay, which was $51.02. And he's getting buck wild with that weed eater again. So let me close the door. We'll do the rest inside the garage, man. Okay, so now where was I? The microphone's probably working so much better now. But the next thing I had on there, and I said I did the pairing clutch delay. So the next thing was the pairing shifter detent kit that I got for the transmission. That thing was $37.68. And the next thing, you know, I had to repurchase the pairing drive shaft lockdown. I had to repurchase that thing because I stripped one of the bolts on the one that was on the old drive shaft. So I just left it on there and just ordered another one because I didn't feel like messing around with it and trying to find something to replace it with. I just said, screw it. Charged it to the game, got another one. But that thing was $151.03. Yeah, it was an expensive mistake, but hey. The next thing I got was the Turning Concepts linkage bushings, and I got that in combination with the cart shifter, because in my swap it was missing a couple of bushings out of there, which is the reason why I wanted to get those, but I wanted to get something a little bit better anyway, so I got those. The next thing was the transmission jack, which I got from Harbor Freight. I already linked all of this stuff in those videos in that video series, which this is going to be part of that series as well. But that thing was like 130 bucks. And you know, if you catch it with a coupon, catch it on sale, you can probably get it less than that. But that's pretty much what I paid for it. Now this is the crazy part. So now the pairing reverse lockout. I got that thing. I put it in, and like I explained to y'all, the issues that I had with it was the little rubber O-ring in there was making it get stuck on the cartboard shifter. So now, could I have just taken the O-ring out and used that? Yes, but I decided not to go that route with it because, hey, I didn't want to be hammering back in it, because when I was hammering it in the first time I did hit the lockout, so I got chipped it. So I kind of didn't want to go through that. Plus, there was the whole issue with when you're hammering it in there and that roll pin goes in there, it pushed the little eyelet for that reverse lockout cable. And you have to stick like a scribe in there and kind of push it to where it sits in the middle and it'll stay in place. But I wound up buying the WRX reverse lockout. You know, I like that one because it has a screw, it's threaded in there, so you don't have to hammer it or anything. You put it in there, it fits through that little eyelet perfectly. It doesn't move it, it stays in the center, stays in place, and it gives it a little bit more room to move around as if it needs to. But I wound up getting that because just for ease of use and ease of putting it in and taking it out and being able to monitor it and stuff like that. So I went with that. Now the pairing reverse lockout was $84.96. And then the WRX reverse lockout was $82.89. And then we come to the actual, the transmission fluid cocktail. And that was the BBR. I guess they call it the BBR cocktail. Because Josh, he did it from Bader-Built Racing. He used the cocktail with the red line gear oil and the lightweight shock oil. I think that's what it's called. What I paid for that was about $100, pretty much $100 flat, and that's for two quarts of the 80. What is it? The 70? Wait, hold on, though. Got it right here. 75 weight 90, and the lightweight shockproof. To get two of those red lines, I got two of those as well. So that kind of helped me out there. And that was $100. And then instead of going with, I wanted to kind of stick with the same brand of oil. So I used the same 75/80 gear oil in the rear diff as well. And that was $88.18 for that. And then The other thing that I also did, I changed the seals in the rear diff, the axle seals. I changed all of those, and then I changed the same thing, the transmission, the output shaft, and the axle seals. Replaced all of those because they was kind of okay, but I didn't want to take any chances. And then I don't know how long that transmission's been sitting. Those seals could be somewhere dry rotted. Oh my God, excuse me. So I went ahead and I replaced those. And what I spent for all of those was $93.49. Some of that stuff I got on Amazon, some of that stuff I got from OEM. So all together, for my swap, I spent $6,933.75 to do my STI swap on my 2020 WRX. And the transmission swap that I put in was from a, what the heck was it? 2019. It came out of a 2019 STI, and it had, from what it had on the paperwork, was 68,000 miles on that transmission. So there you go. There you have it. That's kind of what I spent on my STI swap. Well, fam, that's kind of my synopsis of my swap and what I did and how much I paid for my swap. I know I get you guys can see that the Ghost is up on jacks, is up in the air, because I am going to do some work underneath it, which y'all should be seeing that video coming soon. But I wanted to kind of shoot this video first before I did that one, so you guys can kind of see what I spent on the swap. So do expect another video of me that I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to say nothing about it. But again, appreciate you guys, man. Like, hopefully this gives you some sort of an insight on what it costs to do one of these swaps. I know if you go to Flatiron Tuning, they have a complete swap that they'll sell you. They give you everything that you need. They give you options that you can pick, and pretty much getting everything that you need will probably, I think that one ran about 10K. So that's a lot of money just for that. And then, let's say you may, I don't know if it comes complete with everything, screws, bolts and all that, but if you have to buy all of that little stuff, I think it's just a swap. It doesn't include all the stuff on the interior and all of that stuff for the shifter linkage and all that stuff. So there's that. I saved there. Plus, the thing that you're getting from them is you're getting the fact that they did test the transmission before they sold it, before they sell it to you. I took a chance. Mine paid off okay, because I have no issues with the transmission. Everything was good, and I had quite a bit more to go with it. So that's kind of, I wanted to, like I said, give you guys a rough synopsis on what I paid for my swap, so you know what you're getting into. Plus, I saved even more money just by the fact that I did it myself, which you can too. Just get you a few friends to help you lift and put that thing in there. At that point, then you good to go. And just make sure if you're in Texas, then and if it's hot, I'm sorry for you, bruh. You're gonna have to sweat it out, my boy. But that's pretty much all I got for y'all. Hopefully I didn't take up too much of y'all's time. I wanted to just kind of share that information with you guys so you guys know what I paid for it. Just want to be as transparent as I can, let you know what was involved with it, and hell, just how much it costs. So again, appreciate all the engagement, everybody asking questions, man. Like I said, I'm gonna pay pretty close attention to the comment section of all those videos. Whenever those come up, I'll try and answer any questions you have as best I can. So appreciate y'all. If y'all made it this far in the video, make sure that you do like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, hit all so you get notified whenever I put out a video. And until that next video, fam, peace.